Hey, it's Rich, the Louisiana Hobby Guy, and today I am giving you a sneak peek at Lightburn version 1.5, some of the new features that you probably haven't seen before or even heard of. And before we get started, I just want to say that I am not affiliated with Lightburn in any way, shape, or form, except for the fact that I am a beta tester. There is, no, when you click the link in the description to try Lightburn software, and if you make a purchase, that's not an affiliate link. There is no affiliate program. There's no way for me to make money off of referring you to Lightburn. The reason that I refer people to Lightburn is very simple. It is the most superior software available for controlling your laser, especially in a commercial environment. So today I've got something special for you, and I am going to give you something that nobody else has. A sneak peek at Lightburn version 1.5. And folks, there are some exciting new developments in this version 1.5. And a lot of people say, well, it's only they're only up to version 1.5. Why does it take so long for new updates? And the the updates, I think I started at version 0.5 or something like that, 0.6. And the versions are not in whole numbers or half numbers. They're in the tenths and the hundredths. So there have been so many updates to Lightburn since the first time that I used it. It's absolutely incredible. So it might go from like let's say 0.9 to 0.91 to 0.92. And usually those are going to be like bug fixes, I think. And then when you hit 0.95, that's a version update where there are new tools that are launched. And then it might be 0.96 and 0.9, and it just keeps going and going and going. And we're at the point now where we're getting ready for version 1.5, and there have been so many updates in between. It's incredible. This is not it's not mature software, but it's also not new software. There are a lot of developers that work on this program, and they have some fantastic new releases. So this version 1.5 is going to be a fantastic new release. So let's get started in Lightburn, and let me get this off the screen. This is something that I've been working on a little bit at a time for almost 2 years now. That's almost, in effect, I'm just going to click new instead because I don't want to keep writing on that file. I don't have my software set to autosave. So let's start with probably my favorite new update, because I like to work with libraries. I don't like guessing at settings or actually doing material tests. I try and get my libraries in the right order. So now recently I've been working on a 10, 20, and 30 watt library for Lightburn for the Lasermatic. And as you can see here, this is the 20 watt. So watch this. Look at down here where it says merge. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. This is going to save me so much time. I was actually just working on this last week with 2 different instances of Lightburn open, trying to merge these libraries, and then all of a sudden the latest version of 1.5, I can click merge, and I can come up here and take this 30 watt library right here and say open. And now some of these, the red ones are already there. These green ones are all going to be new. You can see the 20 watts are there. These are the new ones. Those are already there, the 10 watt ones. And it just shows, I mean, so I'm just going to say replace mine with the new one and click save. And I'm going to save this as down here. I'm going to put 20 watt and then dash 30. So I'm just going to do 10-20-30, and then I'll put a 2 there. And now, as you can see, I've got 10-20-30. And in here, if I had settings for them, you'll see here's the 10 watt setting, 20 watt setting, 30 watt setting. Image in 10, 20, and 30. Wow, this just took so much work off of my plate, where I've just combined the 10, the 20. I already combined the 10 and the 20. The 10, 20, and 30 into one library. And last week I was working on this. The acrylic was the only one that I got done, and it took me like 2 hours. This just took me a few seconds. That is number 1 on the feature list. Number 2 on the feature list, which is something else that I will be using quite often because I do lots of different work where I need guidelines. So now we're going to have automatic guidelines. And I'm going to move this over because my monitor is sort of a funky place there. Now watch what happens to my mouse when I go up. You see that? Turns into a handle. Well, watch what happens when I click and drag. So this is a guideline. Now I have a guideline, as you can see. And it's like, you know, I don't know, 30,000, 40,000 wide. It's really big. It goes across the whole screen. But if I select it, I can drag this handle to wherever I want, this center handle, and I can drag this guideline to wherever I want. So if you zoom in real close, you can get it to snap to a line there. So that would be 10, 20, 30, 40 millimeters down. And I can also come to this side and see it snap over, turn into that bullseye, and drag one out this way and say I wanted it to be 40 millimeters off from the side. And now I have my second guideline, and I'll just bring this up here closer to there. That way I can see where that center line is. So now I can work in this area and create my design. But what if I need another one? Well, I'll just come back up here. I can put another one over here. I can come back over here, and I can put another one over here. And this could be my work area. I may want to be this far off the top, this far off the left, and I want it to be this wide. Really, really neat feature. And I'm sure a lot of people have been wanting something like this that are drawing lines with the line tool, you know. And you don't have to do that anymore. Now you can just pull down anything that you want. Oh, I still have the line tool selected. You could just grab another one and place it down here, and you can set up as much of this grid as you need to have set up to work. So we're going to get rid of that for now, and we're going to move on to the next one. And the next one is going to be taper warp. So down here in my library, I'm going to bring out something that is circular. That should work right there. Just bring it down a little bit in size. And actually, let me get rid of this guy right here. Get it off the screen. And now you've got a tumbler, let's say, and the top of the tumbler is 4 inches and the bottom of the tumbler is 3 inches, let's say, something like that. And you know, you can go online on YouTube and do a search for tapered tumblers, and you will get all kinds of videos that will take you through an hour-long video on how to use a specific mathematical formula with calculus and everything else to figure out what the taper is. Well, no longer, because if we go up here to the top where it says laser tools, we will find a new entry here called taper warp. Yep, just this easy. So what we're going to do is The object is the top, and that's where we're going to taper it from. The diameter. So let's say you have a 4-inch. So we'll just leave that at 100. And the bottom is, let's say 3-inch, right? So we'll put it at 75. There it is. The only thing we have to do is put in the length, which is the the tumbler, and let's say that that's 150. Let's say it's 125. Right there is our finished product. Right there, it's done. It's warped and it's ready. And when you engrave this onto your tapered tumbler or glass or whatever it might be, this will be perfectly round. So I know a lot of people are going to be very happy to see this one. We're going to cancel that for now, and we will delete this guy here. And let's now move on to the next feature, which is going to be a lot of fun as well, and that is a new primitive tool. So if we take and just draw out a square, a rectangle like that, let's just put it in line mode so you can see it better, and we select it. Well, we have a new feature now too, and you're all used to using the corner radius down here, where you click on this and you put in a number, let's say 5, and then you come back over here and you click on a corner. And is that right? Maybe that's not enough. And come back down here, redo it again, or go to the shape properties tool and do it over there. You can do it either way. Well, there is a new feature in version 1.5 where you see the blue dot right there. You just have to drag this blue dot over, and it automatically shapes it for you like that. But here's an interesting thing, is you can also drag it in a negative coordinate as well. So let's say you wanted to make a country and western sign for a bar, something like that. If you drag it in the negative coordinate, there's your country and western sign. And you can make it, as any size that you need. You can make it into like a Harley Davidson style sign just by dragging this blue dot. So that is a really, really neat feature. I like that one a lot because it's just so much easier to do this to get your corner radius, or do this to get your western sign. So let's go ahead and get rid of that, and we're going to move on now to the next feature, which is going to be in our wrench and screwdriver device settings up here. So if we click on the device settings, we have something new over here now. So when you toggle on your laser on when framing, you can now set the percentage in your device settings. Where it used to be you had to toggle this on, there was no box over here, and you had to come over to the Move tab, and you had to set your power over here. This has now been updated so that you can do it right here in the device settings, which makes a whole lot more sense to me. The next thing that we're going to talk about is a really important feature that I absolutely love, and I don't know why this feature wasn't released with the original feature, which is the material test. The material test was lacking one thing, and that was right here. The ability to cut out the material test when you're finished. So it now has a border. So now you have the materials setting, you have the text setting, and in my opinion, one of the most important things, the border setting. So, this is in line, and you just cut it out. And and let me show you in the preview, this was never here before. This is the border setting. And now once the burn is done, this makes total sense. It's going to come back out around and cut out that material test for you. Something that should have been there from the very beginning, that always bothered me, as a matter of fact, was that I didn't have the ability to cut that out. but I would always look at the X position and Y position and just go back and put a rectangle there and cut it out. But this makes it makes so much more and better sense. And speaking of the laser tools, something else that has been added in version 1.5, let's just take and draw out a rectangle here, and let's set this to a width of let's just say 20 by 10. You'll see what I'm going to do here in a moment, and I'm going to snap this to here, and then I'm just going to duplicate that, and I'm going to move it over to here and duplicate that and move this one over to here. I'm not going to align these or anything else. And basically what I'm going to do here is weld these real quick so that we have tabs. This works with both slots and tabs, and now I'm just going to take a measurement of the tab, and that is a 5mm there and 20mm on the top. So if we come over here to tools, we come down here to resize slots in selection, and we change this. Remember we said this was 5mm, so we got to enter 5 over here, and you'll see that that now gives us the preview. And we can do slot width, we could do tab height like that, and that's the way that I want it to go. I want the tab instead. And the new material thickness, let's put at 8 instead. We can now apply it without closing the window. So this is something that we can continue to work. If we don't like that, we can come back here and choose 8 and new material thickness of 10 and apply that, and we can just continue to work in here. We could do slot depth, tab height, slot width. You can now apply your changes and keep working in here. So another great feature. You don't have to say okay every time and go back and say, well, no, that's not right, so I have to go back to tools, laser tools. Nice, really nice feature. And if you're still in your trial version, the new version 1.5 will give you the ability to extend your trial. There is also a new console history, which I can't show you here because I'm not connected to a laser, but if I were, I'd have an up and down button in the console. And one of the other great features that is coming, it's still a work in progress, is going to be the ability on the camera tab to add an IP camera. IP camera support is coming, and I know lots of folks, including me, are waiting for that IP camera feature to come, because I have 3 IP cameras here in the shop, and you having to use the Lightburn camera can be a pain in the butt, because sometimes I want to just watch it from the software and I don't want to see it like right from the top of the lid. That's another great thing. Something else too in the radio feature, so let's take a look at that real quick. Let's draw a circle and select that, and let's do like a quick clock face, I guess, or you know, something like a clock anyway. And let's just take that one and this one, get it lined up, and let's say this is our clock face. So I want to align this to this, and if we come down to the radio feature to do our clock, and let's say we wanted, how many are there? There's 60, right? This would be the minutes. So let's say we wanted to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, right? Would that be right? Yeah. If we do 10, that would be every 5 minutes. And now we can check this box over here to group the results. This is a new feature. Say OK, and now these are grouped. And let me tell you, I make a bunch of clocks. I make a lot of clocks. And having to come back and get this box just right like that, so that, you know, I can group them, sometimes is a pain in the butt, because not only do you have these big 5 numbers here. You also have all of the ones, you know, so it can be a pain in the butt, and sometimes you miss just one. Another new feature, I'm not connected to a laser right now that I can't show you, but will be continuous framing. So when you hit frame, you will be able to continually frame, which is a feature that a lot of people like, including me, that some lasers have when you use their proprietary software, where it just keeps framing until you stop it. And I guess you would like that if you're going to, you know, go and move your workpiece and get it just in the right place. You don't have to go about setting up a layer at, you know, 1% power and 15 passes or something like that. That continuous framing will be available for both G-code and DSP systems. So if you have a CO2 or a diode laser, it'll be available for both. Is that enough for today? There's a ton more features, like for the Galvo lasers, and just a whole ton more features if you have a fiber laser that are coming as well. But I'm not going to get into that today. I'm just really just covering the diode and CO2 for today. But you'll see soon enough, you Galvo and fiber users, you're absolutely going to love some of the new features that are coming there as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. I enjoyed making it for you, that's for sure. These are a lot of the new features coming in Lightburn. Please don't ask me in the comments when is 1.5 going to be released. It'll be released when all of the features are ready for your use. And there are some features yet that are a work in progress that have not been added to the software yet. So once those features are added, once all of the devs have done the testing, once all of the beta testers are not running into any bugs, that's when they'll release it. There is no firm date. I can't tell you when it's going to be. I won't answer those questions in the comments. It will just be a waste of time. I've just answered it right here. So if you've watched till the end, you'll know that nobody knows when the release date's going to be. But when it comes, man, I can tell you, you're going to be happy. I know I'm happy already as a beta tester. So with that said, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this preview of Lightburn version 1.5, and I'll see you in the next one.